Hey guys, welcome to It's a King Thing with Miss Ray. And I'm just gonna do this really quick. I'm actually on TikTok live for the first time here. I'm gonna do a TikTok video at the same time. I was gonna do Instagram live, but that's just too much. I'm actually in my bedroom, so you already know this is so what I don't do. But I have to jump on here real quick. So let me start TikTok. All right. So I was watching the Ruby Frankie and Jodi Hollenbach little incident. Y'all, y'all didn't warn me. I'm mad at all y'all. Nobody warned me how totally horrendous this bra. I want to call her nutso, but I'm not. I'm not gonna call her that. This woman, like the size of that 12-year-old child, that his bones, you could see them under his skin. He was so emaciated, has just done me in. Like, how as a mother do you do that to your child? The child that you laid there and created and carried for 9 months and then pushed out. How do you do that? Can someone please tell me how on God's green earth can you even live with yourself having done that to your children? And then you move your marriage counselor into your house, and then she tells you to put your husband out because he's addicted to porn. Because if you even watch porn for 10 seconds, you're an addict. What type of tomfoolery is this? And then she want to say, well, the church said, and the church said, and the church said. The Church of the Latter-day Saints this, and the Church of the Latter-day Saints said that. Um, I thought they didn't believe in divorce. So then why would that same church allegedly send you to a counselor who told you to leave your husband because he was addicted to porn? I'm just saying, the same counselor that moved into your marital home with you and your husband, that was referred to you by the same said church, the same alleged church that allowed you to have kids not in school, and then the kids are missing. Nobody notices that these two kids are missing out of six. They haven't seen two of them. Nobody missed these two school age children. Nobody. Nobody missed the two school age children. Like, I need somebody to explain it to me how that's possible. The condition of these kids, I just, you guys have to go watch this 2020's interview. And oh, the way she did these children, that little boy, when he got to that neighbor's house with no shoes on his feet, he walked to that neighbor's house and you could see his little bones. Like they were so little, and he hadn't eaten since God only knows when, and his shoulder blades were just pushed out through his skin. You could see his spine, and nobody noticed that these kids were missing. No family members, no nothing, no nothing, like nothing, nobody, like even the father. You hadn't seen your kids. You just let someone take your children away. You did nothing. When did we become so nonchalant with kids? These babies were tortured. Let me read what they said. Um, she was verbally and physically abusive to at least the two youngest ones. The two middle ones didn't say anything. They looked, when they went and found them, they looked to be healthy and happy and so on and so forth. The two older ones were already gone out of the home. So I haven't heard their story, but I know one of them said that she tried to send help for the kids, but no one was taking her seriously. So she did at least try. They said she used handcuffs, ropes, had the baby boys on the ground, denying them food, water, and just some atrocious, horrific things she did to those kids. Like one point, she wrote in her journal, she wrote this. This is not speculation. This is what she wrote. She said, because they referred to them as letters. One was an R and one was an E. R is the little boy. She said, I told R to stand out in the sun with a sun hat. He is defiant. When I poked his back to get him in the sun with a Cactus poker, he didn't even flinch. That is how immune to the pain he was. That he didn't even flinch when she poked him with a cactus poker. First of all, you sadistic, blessed child of God. Hmm. Why would you, first of all, put his child out in the sun, one, and then poke him in his back with a cactus poker? Somebody need to poke you in the back with a damn cactus poker. How about that? How about somebody poke you in the back with a cactus poker? And then the little girl, she refuses to work and she has her hair shaved off. She shaved the little girl's hair off because she refused to work and was screaming. Are you insane? What on God's green earth is wrong with you? I need somebody to tell me what is wrong with her. That you would do this to your children. The little girl couldn't shower without being watched by her and the marriage counselor. They didn't want her to steal water while she was in the shower or while she was brushing her teeth because they weren't allowed to have water. So they watched her as she showered. Say who? Say what? Say what? Say who? The things that she did to these children are beyond inhumane. I mean, I might have could have accepted it a little bit better. No, I couldn't. It's a lie. But I'm gonna just say it might not have been so hurtful to me had it have been an adopted child or somebody else's child, whatever. But the fact that you did this to your own child just made it a million times worse. Because you should do this to no child. Because don't no child ask to come here. They don't ask you to be their parents. They don't ask you to lay down and have sex and make them. They don't ask for that. So the least you can do is protect them. That's all that we ask is you protect the babies. The Bible says God protects babies and fools. And if that little boy had a never got away and ran to his neighbor's house, I'm pretty sure those kids would be dead by now because they were in such bad condition. The sores on his legs and his wrists from being handcuffed and then having saran wrap and taped around the sores and the condition of these children is enough to just let me tell you this. When I worked at EMS, shout out to everybody in the field as an officer, as a paramedic, as a firefighter, as an EMT, because you see some horrible, horrible things. And we had an understanding, me and dispatch. Don't send me on calls with older people and babies because it takes me to a place. And it does because I know my weaknesses, which is why I'm no longer on the truck. Because I have a weakness for babies and older people because babies can't fight for themselves. They can't. And I feel like older people cannot either. And they're victimized all the time. And I just get so God blessed angry at people who take advantage of babies and older people. It just takes me to the dark side. When I look at these children and think of all the things that she's done to them, the things that they've said that she's done, the things that she has written down that she did to them as their mother. Baby, 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 baby. All I can say is that prison she's in, I hope every mother in there pays her a visit and tell her how horrible she is. Every last one of them who longs to be with their kids, who longs to hold their children, who loves their kids and had them taken away, or they're in there for protecting their kids. I hope they go and visit her and the marriage counselor and let her know just how lucky she was to have had them and how they wish they could have been in her shoes with their kids. I hope every last one of them reminds her how horrible she is, how horrible she is as a mother for what she did to them kids. I said what I said. Be mad, comment. I don't give a damn because I am a mother. And I'll be Daniel if I let something happen to my kids. And my kids is grown. And I don't give two damns. Still, don't bother my children. They mine. Don't bother them. I don't care. I will be in the pen going, yes, Your Honor, no need for a trial. I did it. Because those is my kids and my I'm definitely stupid about them grandkids. So I'm just telling y'all, when you get kids, take care of them. They don't ask to come here. They don't go and say, can that be my mommy and that be my daddy? They don't do that. The least you can do, the least you can do is protect them. That's the least you can do. That's the very least you can do is to protect them. That's all. And on that, I'm gonna go because that whole when I tell you the things that she did to these kids, y'all, it's totally disgusting. It's so disgusting and horrific. It sickens me to even tell you the story. First of all, you had 6 kids and you became a YouTube sensation on your parenting skills. Imagine that. On your parenting skills. Little did they know that you were abusing your children. Now, I'm all for discipline. Let's be clear, I'm all for discipline. But there's discipline and there's abuse. There's a distinct difference between the two. So when you're abusing kids, but of course you're not doing that in front of the cameras, when it comes out that you batshit crazy for the things you did to your kids, and you got parents like me who want to come and punch in your left eye because of how you did them children, it just is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. I can't believe you did that to your kids, to any kid. I wouldn't care if you found a kid homeless on the sidewalk. Why would you do that to any child that is at your mercy? They at your mercy. So at the end of the day, you over here abusing kids and they over here thinking that you're some great role model as a parent, and you're horrific. You move your marriage counselor in your house as your new BFF. And I'm like wondering, like, were y'all lovers? Cause ain't no way I'm moving my husband out my house because the marriage counselor said he's addicted to porn. But I moved you in the house. Now I need everybody to listen to that. You move your marriage counselor into your marital home with your husband. And then she tells you, I want to make sure I say it correctly, that your husband is lustful and what does she say? I'm gonna see if I can find it, but let me keep going until then. Um, and you move this woman into your marital home with your husband, and then all of a sudden the husband is gone. Say who? Say what? Say what? Say who? Like what? He was lustful and had addictions. Lustful for who? Me or sex? What was his actual addiction? Sex with his wife or with somebody else? Oh, so he's sick and addicted because he wants to have sex with me. Because clearly we having sex. We got 6 kids. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 kids. So clearly we was having sex. I'm just saying. I digress. But quiet. She don't have no husband. She living alone. Her kids ain't with her. Because allegedly she has kids. Don't know where they are. But you're in my house with me and my husband. Ding, ding, ding. Does anybody not see something wrong with that? Okay. So then you put your husband out, but then, or you tell your husband y'all need to separate. And you go move into her house with your 2 youngest kids. Just left the middle ones. You just discarded them like 2 pair of sneakers. You just threw them out and left them there. And you took the 2 little ones and went to the house with her. And all hell broke loose. What on God's green earth is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Somebody please tell me what's wrong with this broad. That she left her children like 2 pair of sneakers just left him there and went to live in this house with this woman because your husband was addicted. And they said, when it comes to the church's thought process, or at least according to what she said that the marital counselor, Jodi Hildebrandt, what did she say? She said, because this is what one of the clients said, her teaching was, first of all, she coached the husbands away from the wives. That was her marital counseling. The husband had counseling here, the wives had counseling here. She would tell the wives what allegedly the husband was saying during their counseling sessions. Like, that ain't unethical. Well, we just gonna let that go. Um, she was lying to the wives about what the men were saying. One client filed a complaint against her with the state of Utah about her about her being unethical and how she was violating the counselor confidentiality, counselor confidentiality. Not only was she telling the ladies what the men were saying, she was going back and telling the university what was being said in alleged studies. Like, she was really completely out of her mind. So then they placed her license, not cancel her license, not revoke her license, but put her on probation for 18 months. So while she's on probation for them 18 months, that's when she launched the Connections online marital counseling for AA, sex addicts, and drug addicts. Now, I would love to know, has she ever been an addict with drugs or alcohol or any of the things that she alleges to be a professional counselor in? That's always an important thing to know about people who counsel. Have you ever been in this situation, ma'am? Then you really can't counsel me, because the book tells you one thing, but unless you've been in that person's shoes, you don't know. Unless you've been a drug addict, you don't know. Unless you've been an alcoholic, you don't know. So it's very hard, unless you've been a sex addict, addicted to porn. How can you counsel somebody on that? I'm just asking for a friend, because it's really hard for me to take counseling from somebody who's never been addicted to something. Just saying. So she said that Jodi's husband had, no, I'm sorry, Jodi said that Ruby's husband had issues, lust issues, and addictions. So, like I said, he was lusting after his wife. I'm sorry. I want my husband to lust after me. Please lust after me, honey. I don't mind. Better than him lusting after somebody else, dummy. We're going to move on. She said the kids needed to be punished. One of the punishments were she had the kids going to the cemetery barefoot and picking up weeds. It was 110 degrees. So you imagine how hot that ground was, the children walking on with no shoes. The baby boy had blisters on his feet and burns on his arms. When I tell you that she needs to be put out in hot sun with just some panties on, maybe drip a little honey on her, put her by a red ant farm, and just handcuff her. See how she like it. Just saying. I just don't. I'm reading the different things that she did to these kids, and I'm sick to my stomach. Deny your children food and water, and they were so emaciated. The little girl didn't seem as bad as the little boy, but that little boy was so emaciated that I will probably have nightmares tonight behind the pictures. Just the ones that I've seen. I can't even imagine what the ones I didn't see look like. I can't imagine the pain that he endured in his little young body. I can't imagine the mental anguish he felt for a mother that was supposed to love him. I can't imagine how it felt to, even though he was probably trying to be good, to still say that you were bad no matter what you did. At one point, she told him he was slithering around like a snake. If you wanted to be something about slithering around like a snake, if you wanted to be a savior, some more ridiculous statement that this broad made. I'm like, Are you completely out of your mind? Like, she's the things that she said and did to these children were just atrocious. And you blame it on the Mormon country, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, and all of that. There comes a time where, as a mother, your instincts, they kick in. Common sense kicks in because she wasn't no baby. You know right from wrong. But how you let some marriage counselor who I saw no husband. So how you counseling me and you don't even have a husband? I'm just asking for a friend. You don't have no husband and you don't have your kids. So how are you telling me about kids and a husband? I I'll wait for somebody to answer that. How are you telling me about kids and a husband and you don't have either right now? Now, allegedly, this alleged marital counselor has some children, but they're not with her. So where are they? Where they at? I don't know if she ever had a husband or a boyfriend or a baby daddy, however she made these kids. However, she didn't have nothing when she was interfering with this woman in her marriage. And several marriages, not just Ruby's marriage. She messed up a lot of marriages. She told one man's woman he's an addict because if you watch porn at least 10 what was it? If you watch porn at least once, you're an addict. You watch porn at least once, she needs to put you on the couch. If you masturbate, she needs to put you downstairs. And if you do it more than once, she needs to put you out. Girl, what? If he watches porn, even if it's for 10 seconds, she needs to put you on the couch. If you masturbate, she needs to put you downstairs. And if you do it more than once, she needs to put you out. You are out of your whole entire mind. And any woman that put her husband out because he masturbated was crazy as hell. Because you could look at that one or two ways. A, he giving you a break, or B, there's something he missing, and you might want to have a conversation with him so that you can find out what he's missing so that you can give it to him. Because I don't feel that a husband should have to masturbate and you in a whole house with him. I'm just saying, but that's just me. And that's another topic for another day because men shouldn't have to go out and their wife is in the house with them. I'm just saying that's my personal thing. Because my mama always say, well, she won't do, another bitch will. Shout out to Diane. Holla. I'm just saying. So it baffles my mind that you let some woman with no husband come and tell you how to run your husband. And a bunch of husbands. I mean, there was a lot of husbands who she was counseling and they wives and they not together no more. And nobody saw the common denominator in any of that. Nobody saw the common denominator. Now the church did, when he filed that complaint against her, the church did remove her from their book of resources. But hell, by then she had ruined 7 million marriages. Okay, that was exaggeration. But I'm just saying, she had ruined plenty of marriages. And maybe if he had not filed the complaint, they probably would have still left her on that resource book. Because I don't know, the way I keep hearing about Church of Latter-day Saints in Utah, because I've met several throughout my travels around the world, and they don't think quite like that. But something about the Mormons in Utah, they think they think differently. So I'm not sure, had he have not filed the complaint, had they have ever taken her out the book of resources, because they probably believed and got behind what she was teaching until the law, or until the state of Utah got involved. They didn't want that smoke. So it makes you wonder, because when the other child came, when her niece that she abused and did all these same things to that she did to this kid. Let me tell you about the niece. Okay, let me just hurry up and give you backstory real quick because I'm getting off. The niece was 15. They went out to visit her grandmother, her and her mother, and the niece, the mom and dad, and the other siblings went out to the Utah to visit for the grandmother's birthday party. The niece was 15, so of course she was doing 15 ass things. Well, The niece woke up one morning and the mama and daddy had left her in Utah with the auntie and the grandmama. Just abandoned the child. Y'all know that's illegal, right? It's called child abandonment. Y'all could go to jail for that. But hey, who am I to say? So when she realized they had abandoned her, the girl decided to take away her identity and start just doing all type of abusive things to her. And I was like, say what? Say who? Say who? Say what? Took her out of school. Didn't let her go to school. Had her sit in this little room all day while this broad was at her office working, and you sit in a room in the same building in the same floor, like a little closet type of jail situation that she had her in while she worked all day. Using that closet was sometime like 12 hours. Yeah. And her name is Jessie. You can look up Jodi Hildebrandt. But anyway, so she had already explained that she was a victim and has since by then, as now, fast forward to now, she's gotten treatment and gotten help and gotten, a better space in life. But she was abusing her. She had to eventually run away because when she asked for help, nobody helped her. The police didn't help her. Nobody helped her. So she finally had to get away on her own with the help of another lady. But again, nobody was coming for these and helping these children. At what point do we help these kids? Like, I don't understand. A kid comes to you and tell you that this person's doing X, Y, and Z for them. Take them and put them somewhere safe until you're going to prove that it's a lie. But don't just keep sitting in the back to myself, oh, no, that's not true. What? How do you know? Everybody can put on a good act in front of you. What happens behind the closed doors? You need to at least do your investigation because this little girl was telling the truth and she was 15. So imagine what 12-year-old R, and I forgot how old little E was, but she was younger than R. And the damage that she has done to those two will take a long, 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 long time to heal. The father is now trying to get custody back of the two little ones. The middle kids he sees. I'm not sure if he has custody back or not of those two. And the two grown-ups, he talks to them. But this husband was so weak. I couldn't help. I couldn't hold it any longer. You weak little noodle, you. How you let somebody take your kids away? You just be like, okay, well, I just want to work on my marriage. Is you crazy? So they just took your kids. You did nothing because they told you were addicted to porn. You weren't addicted to drugs. That's not illegal. What are you talking about? Being addicted to porn is not illegal. Contrary to what you may believe, contrary to what they may have told you, being addicted to porn is not illegal in any state. I hate to disappoint you, but it's not. So your kids were abused and taken from you, and all this was happening because you let them tell you that you were addicted to porn. I just that poor man. I don't know what he made of. I don't know. I got nothing. All I can do is pray for him because he now is in such mental torment because he felt like he was absent and all these things would happen to his kids. But that's the truth. You were absent because at first, when they first contacted him, he was defending his wife. Oh, she wouldn't do that. She loves me, my kids, and my wife, and blah 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 blah. He was defending the broad, even when they showed him how emaciated his children were. You still was defending her. How? How? Please tell me how. Okay. hmm Okay. I got. I just want to know how you still defending her. Cause I don't know. The crazy me would have found a way to bail my husband out and would have took care of business. But that's just me because I'm crazy. But we all know that, which is why people know don't mess with my children. I carried those children. I laid there and pushed those kids out. Don't nobody outrank me. Period. You're not gonna put your hands on my kids. You're not gonna talk crazy to my kids. You're not gonna belittle my kids. Those are my children. Everybody's supposed to take care of their kids to the best of their ability. You're supposed to keep them safe and nurture them and teach them how to grow and be successful adults. The things that she did to these kids is taking me to a place of utter darkness that I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in a dark place. But right now, I can't even tell you all the information that all of this. I can't even tell you all this because it's just so disheartening and disgusting and atrocious. If you want to know what I'm talking about, you can go to 2020 ABC and look it up. Watch the interview where they interview the detectives, the police officers, the EMTs. That when you listen to this district attorney talk, you can hear the emotion in his voice, like he want to cry. Still, like I just don't understand how you could do that to any child, let alone your own child. I don't understand how you let some random person come in your house and destroy your marriage unless you were lovers. And can't nobody tell me that they weren't, because as I watched the little videos of them two kayaking and things, husband wasn't there. Neither one of their husbands was there. Boyfriends or nothing. Just the two of them. I'm just saying. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't think so. I don't think so. It was just, nah. Mm-mm. I have a feeling that Jody finessed old Ruby, and they was homie lover friends. I said what I said. It is what it is. I said what I said. And can't nobody make me think otherwise. Cause I can't imagine somebody making me put my husband out. Talking about he addicted to porn and he lustful addictions. To me? I'm gonna put you out because you addicted to me? Sound like you was jealous of how he like that he was lusting for me. And I was foolish enough to let you make me put him out. Because that's the only problem you had. Allegedly, he had addictions and lustfulness. You never said once that he was addicted to another woman. You never said once that this hair is hot, honey. Hold on. You never said once that he had an affair on you. You never said any of that. You said he was lustful and addictions to you, to porn. At least that's what she was trying to tell you. And you fell for it like a fool and put your husband out. Hmm. Every picture you saw of them was happy and smiles on the videos when you were doing the eight of us or whatever she called a little YouTube channel of hers. It was him and her and the kids. Never once did you insinuate, imply that he had an eye for anybody but you, and you was dumb enough to let another woman who had no man have you put your man out. Crazy as hell. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, child. Ooh, what a tangle web we weave when we try to deceive. Baby. Y'all, I just be careful who you let in your house, in your business. Cause everybody who thinks for you ain't for you, baby. They will come and destroy your whole world. Now I'm gonna end with this. First of all, this crazy broad wrote in her journal, E refuses to work, so she has her hair shaved off. She describes her children as demon, devil, and possessed. These are the things she wrote down with the dates, by the way. You know, um, the little boy, when she made him sleep outside on the hot concrete, he wrote with rocks. He took rocks and he wrote out, jail. I will call you, jail. I will call you when I get there, because he would rather have been in jail than to endure that, because they told him that when you're bad, you go to jail. So he wrote that in little rocks. He sat there and spelled out I, jail, will call when I get there. That's how desperate he was to get out of that. Can you imagine a child being so desperate he would rather go to jail than to stay at home with his mother, the woman who gave him life? Can you imagine the despair that that little boy had? What in all the hell is wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? So, when she was awaiting trial and on trial, she was in a jail called Purgatory. How appropriate was that? How appropriate that her jail was called Purgatory. I couldn't have thought of a better place for this little trollop to be, but a place called Purgatory. Now, what I don't like is in Utah, because she got 1 to 15 years, both of them, 4 counts to be served consecutive, not concurrent, consecutive, thank God. But the Bureau of Parole, what is it called? The Bureau of Prisons get to decide how long that they stay in prison. Now, I think that's some bullshit. So it can go from 1 year to 15 years, depending on how they act in there. I don't like that at all. Now, the DA did say that with Ruby Frank, they agreed not to object to her getting parole, not to go to the parole hearings and saying no. They did not agree to that for Jodi Hardenbeck, whatever her name is. I forgot her name now. But for Jodi, they did not make that same agreement. Um, I do hope that the family members or the guardians of those kids go to every single parole hearing and object to them both. May they serve all of their years, every last one, at least 15, and then let the next 15 start, and then the next 15 start, and then the next 15 start. Let that be their punishment. And may their punishment be long and hard. May they realize the error of their ways. Judging by the after they made their plea and they asked the judge for mercy or whatever you're going to ask the judge for, Ruby had what sounded like sincerity for what she did. Sincere remorse. She even had tears. Okay. She said, basically she said she was brainwashed and so on and so forth. I don't believe none of it, but hey, that's just me. Because I'm not gonna let you blame the church on everything. And she told me, and I believed her. There comes a time when you got to have your own brain, and she wasn't no 10 or 12 year old. She was a grown ass woman. So you're not dumb. You're well aware of the fact what you had 6 kids. You're not dumb. You knew what it took to create them. You knew what it took to raise them. You knew what it took to teach them. I'm not going for it. But hey, that another one she got in there, and she didn't accept no blame, no fault, no nothing. I'll do my time, whatever you feel like is necessary, so on and so forth. And that's pretty much what she had to say. You know why? Because they weren't her kids. Talking about, I love those kids. No, you didn't love them kids, and you should never, ever have said those words out your mouth. If you loved them, you would have never allowed such treatment to happen to them. But I digress. So, um, by the way, purgatory stands for, or purgatory means a place or state of suffering inhabited by the souls of sinners who are expiating their sins before going to heaven. Wow. Was that not an appropriate jail for them to have been in? Okay, guys, I'm going now. Have an amazing day. Do something nice for yourself and do something nice for somebody else. It does not hurt to bless somebody. I'm going to go rest my nerves because when I tell you your girl is rot right now, her nerves is rot because I just don't understand. I love you. Here's some rays from Ray. Good night, guys. See you next time. Have a good day. And if you can't, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Shout out to my girl, Tabitha Brown.